Yeah.
Okay, so we're recording now. It's November 12th, and we're speaking with James Weller, Pastor James Weller. Can you tell us a little bit of your background?
Well, I am a former title insurance company executive. I spent most of my adult life doing that sort of work. But about 12 years ago, I perceived a call to ministry, and I set out to educate myself to be ordained.
And what inspired you?
As a Christian minister.
If you don't mind saying.
Yeah.
What inspired me?
What inspired you to make that change?
God.
So you had a personal experience,
Yeah,
you might say?
not a Paul on the road to Damascus kind of blinding light experience, but a gradual awakening and realization that my calling in life was not to serve money, but to serve people, and in particular their inward spiritual selves.
So it was kind of a more gradual, maybe?
Yeah, it was a gradual awakening, and I just reached a point in my life when I actually could quit my job and stop working and go back to school.
So you went back to school for
9 years.
Where did you go to school?
First, I went to Holy Names University in Oakland, a Catholic undergraduate school.
Right, and you studied theology there?
I took another bachelor's degree in religious studies.
What's the difference between theology and religious studies?
Well, religious studies is the study of religion broadly.
Right.
So my focus was on the history of Judeo-Christian religion in all its aspects, including the history of Christianity.
So you know a lot about Islam as well as Christianity and Judaism?
Not so much about Islam as I know about Christianity and Judaism.
Okay.
But anyway, so once I had completed an undergraduate degree in religious studies, then I went on to graduate work at a religious seminary.
Where was that at?
Berkeley.
Right, so that's a pretty prestigious place to study that.
Yeah, I studied at Pacific School of Religion, which is an institution founded in the 1850s by Congregationalists.
What's a Congregationalist?
It's a type of Protestant church tradition. And that was a beautiful place to study because PSR, Pacific School of Religion, is one of 9 religious seminaries located all in the same place in Berkeley, the same neighborhood. But they're all of different denominations and varieties. So when you study there, you have the opportunity to study broadly all forms of religious tradition. So that's what I did, and with the aim of preparing for ordination to Christian ministry.
So have you been ordained?
I have not been ordained yet.
So what is the process of being ordained? What do you have to do?
Well, at this point, I've already done the preparation. I've already established the credentials. I've already done the internship as a...
What kind of internship do you have to do? You have to be a lay minister?
I served as an intern minister in Berkeley for First Congregational Church of Berkeley for a year.
Did you live in Berkeley?
Yeah, I lived in Berkeley for a long time.
So how long have you lived in Santa Cruz?
Well, I first moved here in the 80s, got married, raised a family, and then afterward moved on. So anyway, to make a long story short, I have been a member of Peace United Church of Christ here in Santa Cruz.
Can you talk a little about Peace United Church?
Sure. I've been there 5 years. I expect to be ordained next year and to go serve a church of the same denomination but elsewhere, not in Santa Cruz.
So are you going to move out of Santa Cruz?
Yes.
Would you know where you might move?
I'd like to go to either Portland or Seattle.
And the reasons being?
The weather's too good here.
Okay, so you want to go somewhere where you won't have distractions?
No.
Okay, just kidding.
My grown daughters live in
Oregon
and Washington, and I have grandchildren there, and I want to be nearer to them. Anyway, so Peace United Church of Christ is a Santa Cruz institution. It was founded as the First Congregational Church of Santa Cruz in the 1850s. And it changed its name just this year,
Right.
January, I believe, to Peace United Church of Christ. United Church of Christ is the name of the denomination that encompasses.
So, what is for background? What is their place within the Christian community? What is their discipline or their belief system? Where does it fit within Christianity?
Well, my church is an historic congregational church, which places it in the progressive end of liberal Christian tradition. Our denomination, the denomination we belong to, is called the United Church of Christ, which is a merger of 4 liberal Protestant.
And which are those liberal Protestant groups?
Well, they don't exist anymore.
Oh, okay, I see.
They were, before 1957, there were 4 denominations that combined.
Right. So this has a lot of history behind it.
Oh, yeah, which is now the United Church of Christ. And so the United Church of Christ is a medium-sized Christian denomination.
Right.
It's a North American denomination.
Right.
And it is the most politically and socially progressive of all Christian denominations.
You mean of any Christian denomination you know of, it's the most progressive and liberal?
Yeah.
And it's really diverse. It's very inclusive.
It's also very diverse because we were formed by a
Well, when you say diverse, do you mean diverse from points of view or racially?
ethnically, racially, socioeconomically.
Right.
And also
How would you fit it in? I'm just curious about its relationship to the Catholic liberation doctrine that was promoted in Latin America. Is it
right? Well, liberation theology is a stream that many of us embrace.
Right.
In my denomination, yes.
Right. Okay.
It's also open to LGBT.
Yeah, that's one of its hallmarks. The United Church of Christ was the first mainline Christian denomination to embrace LGBT people and especially LGBT ministers.
So that's a real breakthrough, for Christian. I mean, you set the tone or set the direction for a lot of other Christian churches.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So that's who we are, and this particular congregation in Santa Cruz decided to change its name to Peace United Church of Christ because many of the members, there were several reasons, but many of the members felt that the name First Congregational Church had no significance.
Right, so they wanted a name that signified more of what they stood for.
Yes.
What they were about.
Right.
Yes. And peace is a one-word encapsulation of what we're about.
Right.